Terminator director Tim Miller. That's right, he's back in the headlines here, as you see on Bounding Into Comics. What's up, everybody? Temple Kuian right here in the place to be. Reviews right back here with all of yous. Took a little bit of a, well, I would say I took a break over a couple days there, but family time and all, had to do the thing. Now, there will be no Batwoman review tomorrow. You will be getting videos and content. Director Tim Miller blames Get Woke, Go Broke for Terminator Dark box office bomb. I don't believe that's the cause there, Timmy. Terminator Dark Fate director Tim Miller blamed Get Woke, Go Broke for the film bombing at the box office. During a recent episode of The Business with Kim Masters podcast, the host shared Miller's analysis on the box office failure of Terminator Dark Fate, as well as the audience reaction to his film. Not only does Miller share his analysis on the film, but he and Masters go back and forth about Miller's reaction to fans compared Sonic the Hedgehog director Jeff Fowler. The conversation took place for the release of Sonic the Hedgehog. Masters' discussion with Miller begins around the 9-minute 40-second mark. Clip begins with Miller saying, "There was a lot of get woke and go broke sentiment. That didn't help us." When asked to explain what he means, Miller responds, "There was a lot of issues about having 3 women in lead positions and all that stuff." When asked to explain what that means, Miller responds, "There was a lot of issues about having 3 women in lead positions and all that stuff." Now, we're going to talk about how these women were miscast and misused and poorly written, because the actresses, I have no issue with any of the actresses here, but the way they were written and the way this was marketed really didn't do the film any justice. But the final execution, based on the reviews that I trust, didn't do it. The film didn't do itself any favors. I mean, spoiler alert, when you come out and kill John Connor within the first 5 minutes of the movie before the opening credits even roll, you've got an issue with your film, okay? You're saying we don't need John Connor. That's not Terminator anymore. That's whatever this abomination was, apparently. There was quite a toxic atmosphere around this film online, which I was really surprised at. I shouldn't be, but I was. This is what I want to talk about right here. Okay, here is Linda Hamilton, who in Terminator 2 was amazing shape. She looked like a female action star. I have no issue with Mackenzie Davis. I mean, let's be honest. She's got a level of muscularity here. It's just that you didn't need the androgynous haircut, because this is her in Blade Runner 2049, okay? This is her just on a photo shoot, all right? I mean, really? Like, that damn. So you go from, here, we can just close these down. You go from that and this to this, all right? I mean, this is totally, and Danny Ramos, like 2 feet tall. It just doesn't make any sense. Miller agrees with the assertion, saying, "Yeah, and unfortunately, I think it's a small minority, but it's a very vocal minority, and they make a lot of noise, and it's hard." That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Tim Miller said about Mackenzie Davis, "We didn't trade certain gender traits for others." Okay, like I said, Mackenzie Davis she's like 5'10", all right? This is a like statuesque, like beautiful woman. And they made her, it was like kind of akin to the Kelly Marie Tran situation in The Last Jedi. Okay, where soy face Rian Johnson, the old moon face there, round head, made a gorgeous, talented woman look like a sack of potatoes. Tim Miller made Mackenzie Davis look like just terrible in this, okay? It was, here's one. I did a Vanity Fair interview, and it was a breakdown of a scene, and I'm in a dark blue shirt, and I'm in a small room in the hotel where they were just doing a junket, and it's hot. There's lots of lights in there, and so by the end of the hour interviewing, I'm sweating, right? And I just read a couple of comments, and they're like, "Look at this fucking guy. He's sweating because he destroyed the franchise. Look at this guy. He's fucking sweating because he knows his career is over and he's tanked the franchise." And I'm like, no, I'm sweating because the room is hot and there's a lot of lights on me, and maybe I didn't put on enough antiperspirant. I'm not nervous, or, there's nothing. Anyway, it's both side and funny to see the stories that people put out here versus, but now the shit that's really going on. There's a set photo of Linda Hamilton. Miller does add that he believes there is some value to finding out what people are thinking. I do feel that there is some value in this perspective. There's some insight to what people are thinking. Miller also admits that he knows some of the things he did with Terminator Dark Fate would be controversial. We did some stuff that I knew would be controversial, like killing John Connor off, right at the beginning of the movie, maybe. The conversation then turns towards Sonic the Hedgehog. Miller was a producer on that film. He details that he helped director Jeff Fowler with the crew, noting that, like Deadpool, they filmed in Vancouver, so he had a lot of the Deadpool crew join the Sonic team. Miller also discussed the fan reaction Fowler received to the original design of Sonic the Hedgehog. It was a tactical error on the design of Sonic for sure, but Jeff took ownership of it, and right away he said, "Look, we hear you and we're going to fix it." And they did. The new design and the new trailer came out, and generally speaking, everybody's. Miller then notes he believes the new trailer and the new design would overcome the first design. We know this to be the case given that Sonic the Hedgehog would be the #1 movie in the United States 2 weeks in a row and has grossed over $111 million domestically and $207 million worldwide. I think rightly so, he gets credit for listening. Fans like to be heard. If you're going to scream, the best thing that can happen is someone listens to you. He concludes, "I know there's a lot of, like, you can't be held hostage to them, but use your good judgment." I think Jeff realized that, and I think he needed to fix it. What Miller leaves out of this conversation is that he took issue with the fan reaction following the release of a poster for his film. In fact, he described the fans who took issue with the poster as closet misogynists. Here's the comment right here, and I'm going to highlight this. "If you're at all enlightened, she'll play like gangbusters. If you're a closet misogynist, she'll scare the fuck out of you because she's tough and strong but very feminine." Well, you are. I will give Tim Miller credit for this. She is tough and strong because she did physically get into shape for this role, a little bit more so than she usually carries. She would have looked better a little bit thicker, would have been a little more believable because she's very thin and like that kind of like hyper muscular physique where it's like very lean, not much mass, but just like kind of that lean racehorse kind of look. I'm not saying she looks like a horse, but just like, you know, that very leaned out look. While Miller indicates in his recent interview with Kim Masters that there is some value to listening to fans, he also doubled down on his criticism of the fans by calling them toxic. Interestingly enough, he also describes this people as a small minority. Given the film bombed at the box office, one has to question the validity of that statement. In the grand scheme of things, they might be a small minority, but it looks like they might have made up a significant portion of the people who might have gone and seen the film. Miller had not attacked them and admittedly introduced a number of controversial plot lines into the film, like killing John Connor right in the beginning of the movie. What do you think of Miller's comments? Do you think he learned anything from Terminator Dark Fate bombing and Sonic the Hedgehog's rousing success? I doubt it. These people don't learn. These people don't learn. He'll just go on Twitter and read about it and complain. So let's look once again. Here's the box office numbers. This bounced into theaters October 23rd. Opened to $29 million domestically. Made $62 million domestic. $198,866,215 worldwide or internationally to $261,119,292 worldwide on a $185 million budget. So you know that movie lost money. It lost money. It lost a lot of money. Probably about $100 million, honestly, give or take. So Tim Miller needed to learn that lesson the hard way. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments section below. Please consider like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Help us grow the channel as we are trying to bring you more content. I'm going to release kind of a series of these quick little videos here. It's makeup material for me taking a day off. So you guys enjoy. And I will include, of course, find us across social media. And that's coming right about...
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
I see the spark.
Here are the places where you can find us across social media on Instagram, Facebook, 2 locations, Twitter, 2 locations, past podcasts available on Anchor, iTunes, and Spotify, coming soon to Blog Talk Radio, working on that bonus content for you guys right now. And what do I say at the end of every video? Well, I always ask you, can you please consider subscribing to the channel, because I'd really appreciate you being part of us growing this community and this channel. Speaking of community, you can also hit subscribe to join the Place to Be Reviews in the Fandom Menace. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are not just some bunch of sycophants. No, we all have individual views and opinions that we like to express in our own manner right here on this platform called YouTube. So join us. Subscribe to the Place to Be Reviews. And remember, if I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. And there's another video that's coming up.